History is filled with kings and conquerors, men whose names are etched in stone. But what about the stories whispered in the shadows, the tales of those who held everything together when it all should have fallen apart? Today, we're uncovering one of the most remarkable yet forgotten stories in history, the story of a widow who, against all odds, saved a kingdom from vanishing into thin air. This isn't a fairy tale. It's a raw emotional journey of loss, resilience, and incredible political maneuvering. Imagine a nation teetering on the brink of collapse. Its beloved king, the pillar of its strength, is suddenly gone. A power vacuum opens, and vultures, both internal and external, begin to circle, ready to tear the kingdom apart for scraps. The royal court is a snake pit of ambition and betrayal. Neighboring empires, sensing weakness, prepare their armies for invasion. The people are gripped by fear and uncertainty, their future hanging by a thread. In the center of this storm stands a woman in mourning, the king's widow. She is underestimated, dismissed by the powerful men around her as merely a grieving woman, a political pawn to be controlled or cast aside. They see her tears, but they fail to see the steel in her spine. They hear her laments, but they don't listen to the brilliant mind working tirelessly behind the veil of sorrow. What they don't know is that she is about to become their greatest obstacle and her kingdom's only hope. Our story begins in a time of great opulence and even greater danger. The kingdom was a jewel, known for its culture, its wealth, and its strategic importance. Its king was a visionary leader, but his sudden death left a wound that seemed impossible to heal. His heir was just a child, too young to rule, too vulnerable to command the respect of battle, hardened generals, and cunning courtiers. According to all historical precedent, this was the end. The dynasty was doomed. The kingdom was destined to be a footnote in the annals of a larger, more powerful empire. But the Queen Dowager had other plans. While the court was paralyzed by grief and ambition, she was observing she had spent years at the king's side, not just as a wife, but as his most trusted confidant. She understood the intricate web of alliances and rivalries that held the kingdom together. She knew the strengths and, more importantly, the weaknesses of every powerful figure at court. She knew the secret desires that drove them, the fears that kept them up at night. Her first move was subtle, almost invisible. Instead of making a grand play for power, which would have been met with immediate resistance, she used her position as the grieving widow and the mother of the future king. She hosted solemn gatherings, ostensibly to honor her late husband's memory. But these were no ordinary mourning rituals. They were masterfully orchestrated political theaters. She would speak of the king's vision for the kingdom, her voice trembling with emotion, reminding everyone of their loyalty, not to her, but to the legacy of the man they had all revered. She skillfully played her rivals against each other. To the ambitious general who coveted the throne, she would hint at a powerful position as the protector of the young king, appealing to his ego and sense of duty. to the scheming minister who controlled the treasury. She spoke of stability and the preservation of wealth, stoking his fear of chaos and foreign invasion. She made promises, forged secret pacts, and exploited their greed and paranoia, all while maintaining the public image of a heartbroken woman devoted solely to her son. But diplomacy alone wouldn't be enough. The threat from beyond their borders was real and growing. A neighboring emperor, a ruthless conqueror, saw the kingdom as a ripe fruit ready for the picking. His armies were already massing at the border. A direct confrontation would mean annihilation. The kingdom's military, leaderless and demoralized, stood no chance. This is where the Queen's genius truly shines. She sent an envoy to the emperor, not with a plea for mercy, but with a surprising and audacious proposal. The official message was one of submission and tribute, a standard tactic for a weaker state. But she also sent a secret, personal letter. In it, she didn't beg. Instead, she laid out a brilliant strategic argument. She explained that conquering her kingdom would be a costly, bloody affair that would drain his resources and leave his own empire vulnerable to other rivals. Then came her masterstroke. She proposed an alliance. She offered him a share in the kingdom's vast trade routes and access to its resources, not as a conqueror, but as a partner. She framed it as a way for him to expand his influence without spilling a single drop of his soldiers' blood. She was offering him the prize without the fight. It was a gamble of epic proportions. To the emperor, this was an unprecedented offer. A woman, a widow, was not surrendering. She was negotiating. Intrigued by her boldness and the logic of her proposal, he agreed to a truce, giving her the one thing she desperately needed: time. With the external threat temporarily neutralized, she turned her attention back to solidifying her power at home. She established a regency council, placing her most loyal supporters in key positions. She began grooming her son, the young king, not just in books and swordsmanship, but in the art of statecraft. She would bring him to council meetings, letting him listen and learn from the shadows. She was ensuring the future of the dynasty, brick by painful brick. Her reign as regent was not without tragedy. There were betrayals, assassination attempts, and moments where it seemed the entire structure she had so carefully built would come crashing down. There were years of sleepless nights, of making impossible choices, where every option led to some form of sacrifice. She had to be ruthless when necessary, exiling former allies who became threats and making heartbreaking compromises to maintain peace. She ruled from behind the curtain, her name rarely appearing in the official records, which were written by the very men who sought to control her. Decades passed. The boy king grew into a capable young man, wise and respected, thanks to his mother's secret tutelage, when he finally came of age and formally took the throne. The kingdom he inherited was not a fractured, broken state, but a stable and prosperous nation. The foundation his mother had laid was so strong that the kingdom would thrive for generations to come. And what of the widow? She quietly receded into the background, her task complete. History, written by men, largely forgot her. It credited the young king for the kingdom's golden age, praising his wisdom and strength. It mentioned his father, the great king who came before her, but the crucial link, the woman who held the bridge between them, was erased, reduced to a footnote as simply the king's mother. Her story is a powerful reminder that history is often incomplete. The loudest voices aren't always the ones who make the biggest difference. Sometimes, the most profound acts of leadership happen in silence, driven by love, grief, and a will of iron. She was a queen without a crown, a general without an army, and a ruler whose greatest weapon was the perception of her own weakness. She didn't just survive, she triumphed, ensuring a future for thousands and keeping a kingdom's heart beating when it should have stopped forever. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey into the untold corners of history. If you found this story as moving and incredible as I did, please hit that like button and subscribe for more forgotten tales. Let me know in the comments what you think. Who are the forgotten heroes of history you'd like to hear about next? Until next time, stay curious.